Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm really excited to watch these clips with you. And of course, I have to let you know it's for your entertainment purposes only. Come to your own conclusions, do your own research. None of this is exactly my opinions per se. Obviously what I say is my opinion, but I'm just here to share. So, and full disclosure, I have not changed the batteries in my lights. So when I wave it around, no light will appear, but we will start the show. So here we go.
Inside baseball. So I went and I met all these girls. A couple weeks later, they're like, "Do you want to come to a circle?" And I was like, "I don't know what a circle is." And so
like a pot circle?
No.
Oh.
No. But they're all in these. They were all in flowy white, gowns, and there was a lot of crystals in the center.
I know what they want us to believe here. Illuminati. Oh my God, she's doing some worshiping thing. And of course, we all know about Bohemian Grove. Not going to go there. But if you've ever looked into any of these like meditative camps or like the ayahuasca retreats and all of this stuff, you don't even need to go or be into it or anything. Just do a quick Google search. It will have the same vibe. There will be crystals. There will be healing sounds. There will be white robes. It doesn't mean that the devil is involved. And it doesn't mean that something bad is going on. Sometimes people are into holistic things like that and they believe it's for good. I can't speak to this exactly. I don't know anything about her in real life. But what I can say is it's easy to come to these conclusions and to assume the worst. But you just have to keep your mind open to the possibility of good, because if you don't let the good in. So crystals can just have healing vibrations and stuff like that. It works for people. So who knows?
Year-old Khloe Kardashian go on tour with P. Diddy.
I definitely was drinking at 16.
Yeah, well, we was on tour with Puff at 16.
I did not start drinking till later.
You were driving cars at 15.
Ever since Diddy's arrest, a lot of people have been talking about the Kardashians, specifically Kim and Kris. Now, I'm not saying don't focus on Kim and Kris, but from old episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, the one that was closest to Diddy, it seems, was definitely Khloe. And why would a 16-year-old Khloe be on tour with Diddy? Khloe, from what we know, never sang, was never a singer or a dancer. So what was she doing on tour with him at 16 years old?
That is a great question. And now, I don't want to come to any sort of defense here, but I also don't know. I wasn't there. You probably weren't there. If you were, let me know what happened. But it's different for celebrities. We look at celebrities and we think, like, I don't know, that's a different world. And it is to an extent, but they have parents and sisters and coworkers and children. Like, it's they live differently, but they're still people. So to the Kardashians, it could have been like Uncle Sean. And Khloe just wants to hang out with Uncle Sean for the week on tour. It could have been like that. And knowing what we know now, I mean, it's obviously inappropriate. I think we can all agree to that. But if you look at that movie, Almost Famous, about the journalist and like going around with the rock stars, they constantly had like 16-year-olds. And in real life, they constantly had 16-year-olds on the bus with them. Also not okay. But I just think things are a little different in that world. And I also believe that the Kardashians are far more powerful than Sean Combs. So I kind of think that if anything happened, we would have heard about it and he would have gone down long before this. You don't mess with the Kardashians. Again, I am not okay with any of this. No child should be on a tour bus especially with somebody who clearly is doing not okay things. You can go back and pause that if you want, but basically the person that opened Costco, you know how they have the little snack bar section. The hot dog meal, I guess, has been $1.50 since forever. And let's see. We can go back really quick. Jim Senegal, he's the founder. When he stepped down as CEO, the new leadership said basically they could make more money or that they were losing it. And his response was that if you raise the price, I will kill you. And I sort of believe him. There's an interesting little documentary on, I mean, I don't know if I would call it, I guess it's a documentary. There's this guy from YouTube who documented himself eating nothing but this meal for every meal, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. It got kind of gross. He was bringing them home and stuff because the Costco was so far from his house. If you want to watch a guy just eat hot dogs for a month straight, go for it. I don't remember the name of it, but you could Google it. That's pretty amazing. Now, I wonder if the bees, I mean, I believe that the bees did this themselves, but it also could be that somebody makes sure to clear that section. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and believe that the bees did it because they know. Bees know. Animals are far smarter than us in a lot of ways. Definitely more intuitive, definitely more spiritual and in tune with nature. We could learn something from them. Hey guys, just a quick reminder that I make these videos every single day, Monday through Sunday. So if you're enjoying this, come on back tomorrow. We can hang out again. And I just have to say thank you to everybody who subscribed. It is, I'm at a loss for words, genuinely. Someone pointed out that just a few days ago, I was letting you know about my goals to reach 100 subscribers by November 30th. And here we are only a few days later and we hit 250. So I just thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for enjoying what we're doing and for being so positive. This is exactly the kind of community I was hoping to create by doing this. Just awesome people learning together and just having a good time and sparking communication. It's amazing. Let's get back to it. Thank you. It is amazing. And every day I'm grateful. I wake up and I'm just genuinely excited to get to this. So thank you again.
You know, when I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time and so, oh, that's cool. A jet just went over. And then you started to see a whole bunch of them. And the next thing you know, everybody in your neighborhood was fighting and arguing and you didn't know why.
Some of you wake up and see all these trails in the sky, but you know.
This is unrelated. But did Prince just sound almost exactly like Cat Williams?
Don't live by one airport. They say it's just condensation from the plane, or that they're using these big tanks in airplanes to test weight limits. But what do you think? Is it just condensation coming out the plane, or was Prince actually onto something? And make sure to follow this page because tomorrow's video will blow your mind.
Where do you guys stand on the contrail chemtrail train? I'll let you guys talk about that. I can tell you when I lived in Maine, there were so many, it would just make like a grid in the sky that was undeniable. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. It's an easy thing to do. They do weather manipulation. It's documented that weather manipulation is being used in this way. So.
Because the way I garden is very little work. You wouldn't know what I mean because you don't know what I call very little work. You might think that I meant I only work 6 hours a day instead of 12. So I'm going to tell you exactly how I garden. The reason is that I never plow or spade or cultivate or weed or hoe or use a fertilizer or use a poison spray or use a compost pile or water. I just plant and pick. The reason that I can do all this is because I keep my ground covered all year long on hay mulch, which rots, fertilizes the ground, keeps down the weeds, keeps the ground soft, and that's all there is to it. The hay around the garden is for two things. The main thing is to fertilize your soil, but the other thing that the hay does is keep your ground moist. In all of the over 35 years that I have planted this way, I have never had to water once. See, most people would cut those potatoes up with just one sprout in each piece of potato, but you don't have to, and I don't do anything I don't want to do unless I have to, and I don't have to. So there we are. I would go down there to garden, and the minute I got down there, I would take off all my clothes and garden naked. I've always loved the air on my body, and I never said a word to Fred about it one way or the other. It never occurred to me to mention it to him.
I think we're all going to get a little high on this wine.
I'm a little high already.
I don't know why they added that last little bit there, but she is onto something. I have planted a lot, I've gardened a lot, I've grown a lot, and I can tell you that most of the time, the less you do, the better. We've had a major drought over this last summer, and I know that it's affected a lot of farmers. So obviously that's a different situation. When it's really not raining, you've got to water your stuff somehow. You have to. They can't die. They will die. But I would say with normal rainfall, you can definitely be okay with less stuff, especially poisons. There's nothing I hate more than pesticides being put around. There's something called, was it like Prel or not Prel? I don't know what it's called. Maybe it's Prel. But it's this stuff that you're supposed to sprinkle down after you weed, and it helps keep the weed away. And everyone loves it, especially in like the neighborhoods where everyone's like, my grass is better than yours. And because I know people who live in these places and they will do anything to have the best lawn. And great for them, but the birds eat this stuff and then they die. It's poison. You're poisoning nature by doing this stuff. And sometimes it's like, why? It's too easy not to think about the consequences of these sorts of actions, especially when everybody's doing it. You just gotta care about life and not just your own.
The CIA. His name was Hank Harrison. He was the Grateful Dead's manager, and Courtney Love was used to peddle heroin into the grunge scene in the 90s.
Oh man, I have another one that was an interview from her. I'll add it tomorrow, but oh my gosh, this has more to it. It's wild. I wouldn't doubt it. If you look at, there are some documentaries from back in the 80s when they were doing the same stuff with drugs in LA.
Someone told me this earlier. Are you related to Stevie?
He's our cousin.
How have I gone that long in life?
Not a lot of people know that. He's our cousin on my mother's side.
That's blown my mind.
So is Tracy Chapman.
Whoa. Hang on.
So,
can we go through the family tree again?
So is Samuel Jackson.
So Stevie is what to you?
My cousin.
Tracy Chapman.
Cousin.
Samuel Jackson.
He would be a cousin too. I mean, he's not my brother.
Right, yeah, fine.
But yes.
I never knew.
Amazing. I'm starting to think more and more. Obviously, there are the hierarchy of the families, the Rothschilds and yada yada. But I think it covers so many different industries, including Hollywood. And I think that most people are just plants. I think that all these celebrities that we like love for whatever reason, like this person looks so wholesome and, oh, this person's so good at this or that. And I really think that it's all on purpose. It's all contrived, and they only give us the character that they want to give us. It's wild that they're all related and this is the first we're hearing about it. That's crazy.
That's a ruse made up by the monolith to distract us from the fact they are put. This ain't real, brother. That's a ruse made up by the monolith to distract us from the fact that they are putting plants in our food.
On tonight's episode of Unanswered Oddities, humans. Are they real or just a youngling's fairy tale? Humans have been a great mystery of our time. These creatures of lore supposedly ate potatoes and enjoyed sleep. They're thought to be long extinct, if they ever existed at all. But recent sightings all across the world have drummed up the debate once again. Rural Morgmog, 2 hours outside of Deedle, a hiker claims to have seen a human.
So yeah, it was a Tuesday night. I had just gotten home from spitting. I went out for my midnight lurk, you know, I was just being creepy and weird, and that's when I saw it. It was a human. You could tell by the knees. I've seen them in the historical books, and it was just standing there, listening to sounds. I thought I might die.
I was called to the scene around midnight. Mr. Fugsnuck was in a panic. I searched the area for humans, but only found a toothbrush.
We don't know much about humans, other than they were most likely wildly stupid creatures. We do believe they did some cool things, though, like super sweet water sports.
The current prevailing theory is that humanity was wiped off the planet by what were called escalators. One by one, each...
I wish that I could see the rest of this. I have to find it. I don't know where this is. If anybody knows if this is from something more, I would love to see it. This is great. I love this because it's so cool to see, even though if it you know, it's obviously satire, but it's the other side of it. It's the other side of what would it look like if we were the aliens and there was some civilization that was trying to figure out if we existed. It just makes you think about stuff differently, and I love anything that does that. Plus, they're cute.
We want you to save it for us, so we can be rich like you.
Well, saving is the first important step, no doubt. But money is something you should learn more about. I'm not the richest duck in the world today because I just salted my money away. And that's how I became rich, making the little slices grow. Money shouldn't be idle and must be put to work, you know.
Oh, yeah? How about all that idle dough you got stashed away?
Oh, no, lads. This is just petty cash. Moves in and out each day. If I sat on my money, I might just as well be stranded on a desert island for all the good 'twould do me. I couldn't eat it, couldn't wear it, couldn't use it. Money should never stagnate, but like ocean currents, circulate. Like the ocean currents control the world's weather, you see, circulating money controls the economy. Money must keep moving to fulfill its obligation.
And if you squeeze it too tight, you'll stop its circulation.
That's a bunny one, and how true.
Interesting. Speaking of, is anybody out there into crypto? Because it is pumping, guys. It is pumping. I can't say it's the time to get in, but I can say it's the time to do your research because it's a constant flow. There are seasons. You should know. So I'll just read this because it might be small for some of you guys. The Inflatable Crowd Company creates fake crowds of people for movies. Since 2002, their artificial crowds have appeared in over 85 films. They are cheaper than CGI, saving production companies money. Look at these guys. Very interesting. But what happens to them after? Do they get reused? Or is there just some weird graveyard of inflatable people? I hope they at least have a memorial or something, you know?
One piece.
Wow. Can you
Yeah.
take a video?
Oh, video is another
Take a
Kodak.
picture, Cody.
It's another Kodak moment.
Kodak moment.
You know, so this part has to derotate underneath. So it's one piece. It's one.
So is this the
myocardial.
aorta cavity?
Yeah.
That's nice. We're amazing.
I love the lady that said, "That's nice." This is pretty cool. I never knew that the heart was one big muscle that was just cinnamon bunned around. Did you know this? And how did Da Vinci know about the vortex oriented heart?
So it is a.
Oops. Sorry, guys. Oh, it's supposed to be something else. I'll have to show you magnesium rain another day. But for now. So this restaurant in Japan, they did a little experiment to show how fast a virus spreads. And if you are not a fan or you know someone who is not that big on washing their hands, this will convert you. I have no doubt that this experiment was meant to display, like, guys freak out about COVID or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I think there's a greater message here of just how fast just any germs can spread. Any germs. Man, it's got me thinking about all those times I traveled and went, I mean, just all the surfaces we touch. Obviously, you wash your hands, but do you do it nearly enough? This is how you become one of those people that's like, did you guys, I don't know, again, if anybody watches Always Sunny, but there's this one scene where the one character, Frank, becomes obsessed with becoming pure because he doesn't want anyone to get sick. So he locks down the bar and he just goes down a very steep mental decline. And eventually he shaves his head and he has hand sanitizer that he's like sloshing around on the floor. He's saying he needs to be pure. This is the kind of stuff that turns you into that. All right, guys, I think it's time to show you something that I found that is so cool. And in these cold temperatures will remind you of the summer.
Need some ornithologists to tell me.
So I didn't say anything because for some reason I see that there's sound happening, but I'm not hearing sound during that clip. So I just wanted to be quiet in case there was sound. But I think that is just so cool. Crows are amazing. The more I learn about ravens and crows and all sorts of forest aviators, I'm amazed. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it right there. I have had an amazing time with you yet again. I can't wait to talk some more about some of these things. If anybody has anything to say or any input, I'd love to hear it. Oh, and I keep forgetting to say this. If anybody has any clips or anything that you want us me, us, if you want me to look into, feel free to go ahead and you can DM it to me on Instagram. You can, I don't think YouTube has any sort of thing like that, but you can also email it to me. So the email address is realdebontheweb@gmail.com. Because there is another account out there called Deb on the Web, and it's apparently some real estate group, and I actually emailed them to ask if I could take their website because I want to put up some sort of website. And they said that they still want it for, I guess, nostalgia purposes, or old clients might use it. I don't know, because it redirects to their real estate agency. So womp womp. I can't have that, but you can definitely email me at realdebontheweb@gmail.com if you have anything cool that you'd like me to check out. And until next time, guys, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. I hope Saturday is treating you great. And I just want to say that you're amazing. If anybody hasn't told you that today, now they have. So thank you again, and I will see you tomorrow. And of course, to my wonderful family and friends and all the support that I've gotten, I am so grateful, and I just love you guys. So, Grandmom, good night. And to all of you, enjoy your night.